All right. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Good? How's it going? Nitesh, thank you so much for staying awake. I know that you are feeling sleepy and you are cool enough to stay awake and hang out with us here in Smart English Live. Thank you to all the premium subscribers here, Rosa, of course, and everybody else that's logged in and signed in. Luciana, hello, welcome. Hi, Omar, hey, welcome back. And Hamam, hi, welcome. And we have two Niteshes now, so we'll have to figure out maybe a nickname or something, but welcome to Smart English Live. Are you guys enjoying the hat? Is it fun? You like it? Pretty cool? I thought I'd just be a little bit goofy today and entertain you guys. Hello, Mohammed, welcome. Happy to have you here. So, you guys are great. So we're gonna start right away today. If this is your first time, which it looks like it is for a few people, I don't normally wear goofy hats, that's just for fun, right? But you've come to Smart English Live, English for academic purposes. This class is to prepare you for university or college or perhaps a job. It uses academic English, intellectual English to hone our communication skills in writing, reading, and speaking. So, all right. Nitesh, yes, we are ready to go. I do look like a magician, don't I? Or maybe Abraham Lincoln if I had my beard. Can you imagine? So we're gonna get started with the lesson right away. Thanks so much for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and take attendance for our premium subscribers really quick, and then we'll get going. If you want to become a premium subscriber, I just finished grading homework. Yes, Luciana, let's start the magic. I like it. If you want to become a premium subscriber, follow the link in the chat, or email me or Zach if you have any questions, zach@smartenglish.com or joshua.live@smartenglish.com. If you have questions, you can always email us. Also, if you want to come study with me in the United States, you can always apply online. We're doing an amazing discount right now where you can study for half price tuition if you start in January or February or December if you can get here that quick. Sumaya, hi, welcome. Happy to have you. All right, Boba, you have poor nets. I think you mean internet, poor internet connection. I'm sorry, but maybe change the, take it off HD if you're on a phone or in an internet cafe. Take it off HD and that might help a little bit. Racha, hello, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna get started right away. That's the link if you wanna come study with me in the US. There's the link if you wanna become a premium subscriber. I'm gonna take attendance super quick and then we're gonna get going. If you're wondering what happens when you're a premium subscriber, you get one-on-one chats with me, you get essay correction, you get weekly homework correction, video corrections, tests, which we're gonna have soon. We gotta get through our essay first. And also a certificate at the end for Smart English Live. So, Abdul Rahman, hello, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Chari, welcome, happy to have you here. Okay, Nada likes the hat. Okay, maybe I'll bring the hat back if we're doing well in class. How about that? We'll see if I can make it appear. All right, so to begin today, we're gonna return to 5-3C. This is our essay number 2, the effects of immigration on labor in Canada specifically. So, Nitesh is doing 360p, everything will be cleared. Yeah, that's good advice, thank you. So, if you're just joining the class for the first time, you can go back and watch previous videos about our discussions on APA formatting, essay composition, reading strategy. Last class, I asked of our subscribers and of everybody in the chat to do a little bit of research, finding information about this topic from our credible sources. So I'd like to just open up the chat and ask, what did you find out? Did you do research? Did you read some articles? And what information did you find? Val says, I would like to come study in the US, but I think nowadays it's a good idea. It's the same as it's always been. Studying in the US is totally no different this year than it was last year. I know there's a lot of stuff in the news, but it's nothing to worry about, I promise. All of my students studying here are having a great time. There's a great discount right now. You can study for a very affordable price. And Spokane's a beautiful city. You got to check it out. It's amazing. Nora, you say, hey, what's up? Hey, how are you doing? We also have Estra. Estra, I want you to help me. How can I write and speak good in English? Speak well. There's your first lesson. You want the adverb. How can I speak well in English? And of course, Ezra, I'm happy to help you. This is what this class is for. We're going to practice speaking, listening, writing, reading, all the aspects of English. And I'm happy to help you. Boba likes my hair. Thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. It's going gray a little bit. You might be able to see. I'm getting a little bit gray, but that's okay. So I'd like to know, Chari, Jose, welcome back. How are you doing? Who did research? Who read some of these articles or any article on the topic of effects of immigration on labor in Canada? So there's a labor shortage in Canada is what the topic is. And then our essay is going to focus on the cause of that labor shortage, the positive influence of immigration, and the negative influence of immigration. And then the thesis of our essay is going to be a conclusion that we come to. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? So Rosa says, I started to work on my poverty listening homework and I watched other teachers' classes. So you're studying English still. That's good. That's good. But who did any amount of research or reading on this topic? Anybody? Did anybody? If you did, let me know. Let's discuss it a little bit. Thank you, Nora. That's very sweet. She said gray is, and then heart, smiley face. That's very kind of you. Thank you. All right. But about the topic, everybody, the topic, not poverty, immigration in Canada to solve the labor shortage. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We ended, thank you, Abdurrahman. Enough about my hairstyle, though. I appreciate you guys like it. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you. But the topic, we ended last class with our thumbs up or thumbs down of, do we think, in our opinion, immigration and migration is good for the labor shortage, or is it bad, and why? I want to open that topic back up. Don't be sorry, Rosa. You're doing wonderful. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. What is the opinion, the consensus that the chat has? Is immigration good or bad for the labor shortage in Canada? What do you think? And we just asked yes or no, like thumbs up or thumbs down last class. But now I want to delve into it a little bit deeper. Why? So if you said yes, Boba, good question. You said, what is a thesis statement? I'm so glad you asked that because a lot of students are probably wondering that right now. A thesis statement is the most important statement in an entire academic work, essay or presentation. The thesis statement is your main message, the main point you want to get across. So the way I like to describe it to some students is, imagine this. You're in a conversation with a very good friend or family member, and your plan is to meet this person somewhere, right? You're texting back and forth, and you've been texting back and forth, and you didn't notice that your phone is about to die. Your battery is about to die. And so you were saying, Well, it'd be so good to meet. It's going to be so good to see you. I can't wait to see you. This is going to be great, right? But then you realize your battery's about to die. And you're going to have to send them one last text message before it shuts off, right? That is your thesis. That information you choose to send. So if your plan is to go meet this person, what information are you going to send? Probably where you're going to meet this person and when you're going to meet this person, because that is the most important information, right? Without that, you may never connect. You may never reach that person and connect. But you'll send that information. You'll send where and when you're going to meet. It's the most important, right? So the thesis statement for this essay is going to be our most important message. And as I said, we're going to break down the essay into an introduction paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion paragraph. And our 3 body paragraphs, the topics are already chosen for us. The first is, what caused Canada's labor shortage? What caused it? What was the cause of the shortage? And the second body paragraph, the third paragraph of the essay, but the second body paragraph, is going to be, what is a positive effect of immigrant or migrant labor? And the third is going to be, what is a negative effect of immigrant or migrant labor? And so our thesis in this essay is going to be probably our strong opinion in the end. And in academic writing, we don't just try to give our opinion in a strong way. We try to support our opinion with evidence, with data, with statistics, numbers, figures. That is what we want to support our thesis with. Okay, so we have a lot of new comments in the chat here. Sorry, I'm going to go back a little bit. All right. Just scrolling down, making sure I don't miss anybody's comments. So Boba says, my exams in written expression are soon. Please provide us with the needed information. Give me a little more detail on written expression. What are you focusing on? What is your, what are you going to school for? What is your topic? What is your major? Is it written expression on the sentence level, on an essay level? I'd like to know a little bit more. Val is here as well. Abdul Rahman wants me to cut my hair every day. I don't make enough money to cut my hair every day, but I'll try to keep it clean for you. Labor resource or labor? Nitesh asks. Okay, so Nitesh, what we're talking about is a labor shortage. So this means in Canada, there are more jobs than there are people to fill those jobs. That's what a labor shortage is. And one of the solutions that was proposed is that we get people from other countries to come and work in Canada. So that would be immigrant labor or migrant labor, people who travel to work. So we're talking about using other countries' citizens as a resource to fill those labor gaps, the shortage in labor, okay? Hamam asks a great question. Where should the thesis statement go in the essay? Great question, I'm so glad you asked. Your thesis statement in this style of essay, which is your most basic style of essay, is going to go in 2 places. It's going to go in the end of the introduction paragraph, and then it will be restated more specifically and hopefully more clearly in the conclusion paragraph. So we will have the introduction paragraph, thesis statement will be the last sentence, and then we'll have the conclusion paragraph, which we will restate the thesis once again. Okay, Thumber, you're in the UK, it's midnight, you're going to bed. Good night, sleep well, dream of English, dream in English, and hopefully we'll see you next class. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, Bobo is doing an expository essay. Okay, we can talk about different essay types, but right now we're doing a compare and contrast essay which actually is also sort of an opinion essay. Combined. I mean, we're going to end in a strong opinion one way or the other, but it's going to be analytical. It's going to be based on research. So I'm going to talk probably next class about different essay types and how you can approach them. But what you should know is that the organization of the essay, the basic organization, the introduction, body, paragraphs with supporting information, and conclusion is going to be the same no matter what style of essay you write. So this will help you no matter what kind of essay you're writing. All right. Hosu, is it Hosu? Is that how I say your name? Welcome to class. Okay. So Abdul Rahman asks, what is the meaning of labor? Labor is work. The word labor, a synonym for the word is work. But when we're talking about labor in this context, it is work in general for a country. So jobs in a country. It's a pretty general concept. It's just jobs available within the country of Canada. So Boba says at the end of the introduction, yes. Okay, persuasive and opinion are the same. Yeah, to a degree. Persuasive is a little bit stronger. It feels like a sales technique, right? You want someone to be convinced of your opinion. But as I said, what we're learning here in class is general essay structure and composition. So you can turn this structure that we're studying into a persuasive essay, argumentative, compare and contrast, narrative. There's lots of different essay types that you can use the same basic template for. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, let's see. Boba says every part of the thesis statement will be discussed in the body, right? Kind of. I'm going to go into more detail about that in just a minute, so hang tight. Nada says it's 12:50 in Egypt, but you will stay, looking to be a good teacher one day. Why? That's so good of you, Nada. That's awesome. I'm glad to see that you're so motivated to be a good teacher. Thank you for sticking around with us. That's awesome. Jose says, migrant is the person that exit of the country. Kind of. Migrate means to move. It's movement. So we have immigration and emigration. One is moving in, one is moving out. But here we're specifically talking about immigration, immigrant labor. An immigrant is a person that goes into a country. So Egypt, for example. Egypt is a different country than the United States. If I am a US citizen and I travel to Egypt, I am emigrating from my country and I am immigrating to Egypt. So if I'm working in Egypt, I am an immigrant worker. Okay? Let's see. Jose, good job. You pointed out the same thing there. Excellent. Ezra says, yes, it's the same because in each of them you write your opinion. Yeah, persuasive and an opinion essay, they're very similar. Okay. Rosa says, I've been asking this question for a long time, but until now, no one gave me an answer. Yusuf says, hi, Joshua. I haven't attended your classes for a long time. Yeah, that's okay. Welcome back, Yusuf. We're happy to have you. Excellent to have you here. Thank you for coming. All right. So Nitesh says, you have an exam for your MBA. Awesome. Suggest how to solve a passage at the end of our lesson. Yeah, so Nitesh is one of our premium subscribers, and I'm happy to help you with that. Let's take a look if we have time at the end of the lesson. If you can send me an example of the sort of passage and prompt or question that you're talking about, send me an email and I will check it out, and then we can talk about it either now or next class. Okay, so let's talk about some of our research, and then we'll look at sort of the outline for forming our essay, and I'll give you the steps needed to study tonight. All right. So we gave you research sources. We gave you these sources: the Vancouver Sun, the Toronto Sun, the University of Ottawa, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, World Health Organization. These are all trusted sources that you can find good information. All right. So in our outline, now, after we've done our research, or if you didn't have time to do research, you have the whole weekend. So Rosa, Nora, Jose, anyone that plans on writing an essay, I'd like you to do a little bit more research today, maybe tomorrow, and then start forming your essay outline over the weekend, and even begin to write your essay, because we'll want to have this prepared and some rough drafts to look at by Tuesday for our next class. Also, I want to ask our premium subscribers, if we can use your essay in the class, if I can put it up on the screen and show it to everyone as an example, please let me know. If you don't want me to use your name, that's fine, but I'd like to know if I can use your essay to show corrections, show formatting, things like that. So if you're okay with that, when you share your rough draft with me, or you share your essay outline, please write in there in the comments, Josh, you can use this. If you give me permission. I never like to show student work unless they give me permission, but I'd like to show a few examples of a learner's essay outline and rough draft so that we can all sort of learn together. It can be very helpful. So if you're okay with that, when you share it with me in email, please let me know that I can use it. That way we can show it in class. So Rosa is Luciano. Hello, how are you? Rosa says 2 types of essays: persuasive and discursive. Opinion essay is a type of discursive essay. Yeah, we'll talk about types of essays again next class. Hannah says she has to take a TSI test in Texas. She has to write a 5-paragraph essay. The problem is I can't understand the prompt when I look at it last time. Okay, we're going to look at some prompts. And I'm glad you brought up that word. Hannah, is this your first class? Is this your first time here? If so, welcome. Happy to have you. We're going to talk more about that. Nitesh was asking about prompts as well. And we talked about the word prompt last class. We talked about how a prompt can be a statement or a paragraph or a series of questions that we respond to. And it's very, very important that we understand the prompt before we begin to try to write. So Nora has exams next week. You don't think you can write an essay. That's okay. If you have exams, no problem. And Nora, you can send me an essay later on, and we'll look at corrections then, okay? And premium subscribers, if something like that is going on in your lives, if you have another school that you go to and you have tests or finals or exams, let me know. Send me an email, and I can also help you study for those. I'm here to help you. I'm your teacher, and I'm here to help you with any exercises you're working on. So if you're worried about an exam and you know it's going to be a lot of multiple choice questions, I can give you test-taking strategy and talk about some of the ways that you can approach a multiple choice test. Or if you're working with prompts, like it looks like Hannah and Nitesh are currently working with, then let me know. I can help you. I can go over any aspect of English that will be beneficial to you in your lives. The idea is to make you guys better English users. In whatever capacity that means. So if you want to work on speaking, if you want to work on listening, writing, TOEFL test taking strategy. We have classes for that here that we teach in the United States. So I can help you with other things outside of this regular curricula too. Just let me know, okay? But totally fine, Nora, no worries. Boba says, even I'm not going to sleep, even if I'm sick. Do you mean sleepy? You're not going to sleep? And then a bunch of devil faces. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but Aaron, welcome. It's okay that you're late. I'm glad you're here. Aaron's another one of our premium subscribers. Welcome. I graded your homework and I sent it off to you, so check that tonight. Rosa, I graded yours as well. Nitesh, Aaron, and Rosa are all here, so welcome. I'm so glad to have you guys. All right, Shivan says, Josh, can you please give us a definition for the prompt? Because I have looked it up, but unfortunately I didn't find it. In other words, I didn't get it. Yes, of course, Shivan, no problem. So this prompt, what we're going to write on is we're going to discuss the effects of immigrant labor on the labor shortage in Canada. So this is effectively our prompt. What are the causes of Canada's labor shortage, and what effect do immigrant or migrant workers have on the situation? So let's break this down for Shivan. Rachola, hello, welcome back. Good to have you. Okay, we're going to go back through some of these questions later on. Mahmood needs help with aisles. I can help you with that. Send me an email. All right. Yes, okay. I have one, but it is printed. Boba, you can take a photo of it and email it to me, okay? Even if it's printed, that's fine. Okay. Zaid wants my email. Okay. My email is joshua.live@smartenglish, SMRTENGLISH.com. So that is my email right there in the chat. Shavin. Shavin? Is that correct? Shavin, not Shivan. Shavin, sorry. Okay. So I still want to answer Shavin's question. The question was, can you describe the prompt? Can you tell me what the prompt means? Yes, of course. And Nora, no problem for the support. That's what I'm here for. Your teachers should always support you. My teachers that I had in college still support me. I still talk to them. We're friends now, but they helped me out a lot when I was doing my own studies. So I am happy to help. Val's doing research for Val's PhD. You feel more like a dead person than alive. Yep, that's what PhD study will do to you. But good job for you powering on. That's awesome. Okay, so to break this prompt down, what are the causes of Canada's labor shortage? Let's stop there. That's our first clause in the prompt, and that is a big issue to address. I can promise you that that question, what are the causes of Canada's labor shortage, cannot be answered simply. It cannot be answered in just one sentence. There's probably going to be multiple causes, multiple reasons why there's a labor shortage in Canada. You should expect this of any academic prompt. They're not going to ask you easy questions. They're not going to say, yes, no. They're not going to ask yes, no questions in their prompts. It's not that simple. It's going to be a complex issue. Every time a professor or instructor asks you to write an essay, it's not going to be an easy answer. If it feels like it's an easy answer, you're probably not answering it correctly. So be sure to read the prompt and understand the prompt. What we can do to find an answer to this question is first understand the prompt. What are the causes of Canada's labor shortage? I want to make sure that we understand this question and how to answer it. So I want to ask the chat right now, everyone to take a couple minutes and see if you can answer this question just based on what you know about the world in general, okay? You don't have to actually do this from research, but make some hypotheses, create some educated guesses as to why this might be, all right? Use your prior schema, your knowledge you already have in your minds, and have a discussion. Why might Canada have a shortage of labor? What might the reasons be? So I'm gonna go to music here and let you guys chat for just a minute, and then I'll be back and we'll talk about it, okay? Oh man, you guys are awesome. So cool. The hat's back, by the way. I am so happy. I'm glad I let the chat go for that long because you guys have great answers. Great answers. We started out a little slow, like trying to understand the question, and then it built up until we all kind of got in the same flow and same thinking process, right? Some of those questions were, when we first started out, or some of those statements when we first started out, were geared towards, oh, there's too many people coming in to work, or why there might not be jobs. But here, when we talk about a labor shortage, we are talking about a need for workers. There are more jobs to be done than there are people to do them. So that is the problem that we're working with today. So yes, you get it, you understand it. We have a lot of good comments here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back a little bit so we can talk about this. So let's see who was the first to start to answer there. We have some really good comments. Going back in here, it looks like a lot of people answered. It's hard to go back through all these comments. You guys are doing great. So many people answering. This is wonderful. So one of the statements was, okay, Nora, I think, was the first to sort of get on board with the right direction. Nora says, it might be the new generation. They're not responsible enough to start working and providing for themselves. And she thinks her sentence is messed up, but it's not. It's a perfectly good sentence. Good job. You're right. That is a critique that has been brought on society. Maybe the new generations simply aren't as hardworking, or they don't want to work the labor-intensive jobs that previous generations were willing to do. And then another possibility, another angle, was brought up by Hannah, who said that the government pays for assistance, so maybe people don't feel like they have to work. That's a possibility too. That can contribute to it. And then Harpreet says technology is taking over jobs. That's another critique that's been brought up in this conversation. Sure, technology can take care of a lot of jobs, so that might be a reason for the labor shortage. And then Nada says, Jose and Nada both say climate, the temperature. That's true too, especially in Canada where it can be very, very cold. It's super cold in Canada right now, and there's supposed to be a big snowstorm, I hear. Here in Spokane too, in the United States, we live in the northwestern part of the United States, and it's gonna get very cold and snow a lot tonight. But that's a possibility, right? Is the weather keeping people from working? Citizens may prefer different jobs. These are great hypotheses. They're excellent. So Chari says immigration, the conditions offered for the companies. Illegal immigration can cause unfair salaries. And then this is Azim's comment. Legal obligations, lower salary, bad working conditions. Possibly. That is usually on the other end of the argument. So that would be why aren't there jobs available? Here we're talking about why is there a need for workers? Why is there a need? All right, Nitesh talks about migration, and then Nora calls me a magician. Thank you, Nora. You're great. The teacher of the school did not provide training or sufficient levels. Shevin says, Shevin, I'm gonna get it right, I promise. This is your third class. I'm going to get it right, I promise. Says that maybe the lack of education is a problem. So are people simply not qualified to do the jobs? So these are great. This is the kind of discussion we should have before we go to write an essay like this. Now we have to do some research. And Aaron says, I think Canada is not only a big country, but there's also low population. They can't afford to pay taxes. It's easier to get a visa. Okay, Aaron, good points. Yes, Canada is a big country and they have a low population. So, how do we prove this? The reason I had us talk about all these different things is we're making good points, but can we prove it? I can tell you that Canada is a big country, but unless I have some sort of statistic, it's not just from my mind, I need to prove this to you. So we need to go to some of our credible sources here and search for information. So what information do we want to find? Do we want to find out if there's problems with the education system or with Canada's climate affecting the jobs? Well, let's go to some of these credible sources on the internet and see if we can find out some of this information. So here's one article from businessfinancialpost.com. Foreign workers program must be temporary, aimed at high skills. High skills. So some of you said, well, maybe there's not trained employees ready to work in these jobs. So we have to bring in people from other countries because there's no one that's trained to do it, right? So we can read this article here. This is Mark Carney. Foreign worker program must be temporary for high skills. So Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney says the controversial temporary foreign workers program should not be used to drive wages down or to fill lower skilled jobs. So we would want to read through this article. This is an article that was published in the news. So it was written by reporters who are supposed to fact check their publications. Is it always true? No. You should not trust the news 100%. But it's more true than just coming up with an idea from my mind. It has some sort of research based in it. So I can read this and other things, and I can combine that information to try to get a general idea of a strong supporting argument for my essay. Let's look at another one of these publications. So this title, again from the Financial Post, says The Other Side of the Temporary Foreign Worker Debate, How TFWs Fill the Labor Gap. TFWs, Temporary Foreign Worker Program. So this is a program that looks like it was created, and it's not forever. It's not a sustaining program. It's a temporary foreign worker program. So I can read up about this and find out more information. So why was this created? That might put me in the direction of why there is a labor shortage. If we go through to another article here, the Vancouver, this is the Vancouver Sun. I think we had to relink this article. So labor shortage looms, warns immigration minister. I'm just going to read this to you because it's a short paragraph, and then we can talk about what we learned from it. So this was published on September the 30th. This is from December 2016's publication. So we have an author name, we have the publication date, posting date, we have the Vancouver Sun, the article. It says link to article. So this was republished, and the original link doesn't appear to be there. So those sorts of things are things you look for when you're looking for credible sources, though. Does it have an author? Does it have a publication date? Is it from a trusted source? Or is it somebody's blog? Okay, I'm going to go back through the chat here, make sure I'm getting all the questions. Rosa says she's tired. Zaid, let's see. I'm going to go back up just a little here. They do not like to go to work, is Zaid's guess. Possibly. Chari says one of the reasons is immigration, also the skills required. It's good. It's a good sentence, too. Let's see. Okay. Ezra says All right. She doesn't like when I speak so quickly. I can always speak more slowly if you like. Boba says Syrian refugees to Canada provides potential pool of labor for employers in the months and years to come. That's true. And of course, I wish well to all the Syrian refugees and hope they get good jobs that pay well. Okay. Finally, I got it. So I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Excellent. What is the question to join? So Rosa doesn't have me speaking quickly. That's fine. Some of you think I am speaking quickly. That's perfectly all right. All that means is that we have different listening ability levels, and we're here to practice. So while Rosa might understand everything I say when I speak quickly, if you want me to repeat something or to speak more slowly, I'm very happy to. I'm very, very happy to. Just ask me in the chat. All right. Nora is not only tired, but exhausted. Well, thank you for staying awake with us. If you're really tired, Nora, get some rest. You're a premium subscriber, so you can watch this video again. Send me an email if you have questions, and I can correct your homework and stuff for you. So don't worry about it. All right. So, it looks like everybody is sort of fatigued and staying up late for this. Let me go ahead. We're almost done with class here. Let me just end with this. I'm going to read this article. I'm going to discuss it a little bit, how it applies to our prompt. And then I'm briefly going to outline how your essay should look in layout, and then we'll call it a night. How about that? Or a day or an afternoon, wherever you are. So, this article. Chris Alexander, Ottawa's newly minted immigration minister, made a quick stop in Vancouver last week. As one would expect with a city so intertwined with immigration issues, quick, in this case, did not mean uncomplicated. Alexander spoke at a National Bank of Canada event at the Pan Pacific Hotel on Thursday afternoon, mainly to outline the progress on various immigration reforms spearheaded by the Harper government. The minister, who was appointed in July, quickly found out how popular the topic was in Vancouver. About 100 people from local immigration industry groups packed the small room, and many, if not most, in attendance had very specific questions on their minds. But Alexander said he welcomed the questions, asking for Canadian businesses and entrepreneurs to step up their engagement with the Immigration Department to help shape Canada's future policies. I don't need to tell you in Vancouver that immigration is one of Canada's most vital policies, he said. It's a question of our economic future. The evidence is obvious, Alexander said. Canada's birth rate, like those in all industrialized nations, is on the decline. Statistics Canada said fertility rates in the country fell for the third straight year in 2011 to 1.61 children per woman. Statisticians usually say that 2.1 as the rate at which a country needs to maintain its population levels. And Canada hasn't hit that figure since the early 1970s. Here in BC, the fertility rate is especially low, the lowest in Canada, in fact at 1.42. Combined with an economy that is focused on international trade, as well as infrastructure construction, energy production, and other labor-heavy industries, such as BC's natural gas sector, Canada needs an immigration system that can help sustain the labor demand and the economic well-being of local markets, Alexander said. So, in that, oh yes, Rosa, you're right, Nora and Mona. Nora, you should be though. You're here all the time. We'd love to have you as a premium subscriber. Okay, thank you, Chari. I hope I speak clearly. And what I'd like to point out here is this is a topic that we did a little research on together here in class. And Luciana, I don't know. I was wondering the same thing as I read that. I can find out for you though. It's probably the title of other articles. I'm not sure though. But good eye. Good job seeing that. That's very good. Okay. So this brings up a point that we sort of were reaching towards but didn't quite reach. That Canada's birth rate is on the decline. So someone did, I can't remember who said this, someone pointed out that Canada's a big country and has a small population. Well, in this part of Canada, the population is getting smaller because the birth rate isn't very high. So that's another point we can make in our essays. So I want you to think about this, that we can have all these opinions, but as we do research, as we read about our topic, we discover more information and get a better idea of what we want to write about and how we want to write it. So I hope that that is true. Rosa, National Bank is an organization. That's why that is capitalized there. I want to talk about how we would go about structuring our essay. And I want to find a document here where we can, I'm going to bring up the one from last class here, where we can look at our outline and sort of break down how we're going to write our essay. So we did this last class. We had our essay outline, and we talked about a hook. So I was going to write maybe a question, a rhetorical question about migrant workers and whether it's a positive or negative. And then topic, body paragraph number 1, we're going to have cause. What is the cause of the labor shortage? From our research today, we know that part of the cause is a declined birth rate. So less people are being born, and so therefore, as people retire, someone else pointed out, there are less able-bodied workers in the workforce. Second, we're going to talk about a positive, then we're going to talk about a negative, and then our thesis we might not know until we've already written a few other paragraphs. We might not know what opinion we have, whether this really is a good solution or a bad solution, until we do a little more research. So right now I want to write very generally how we might outline our essay. So we're doing a 5-paragraph essay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are going to be our 5 paragraphs. Our first paragraph is going to be our introduction paragraph. Our second is going to be body paragraph number 1. Our third, body paragraph number 2. Our fourth, body paragraph number 3. And our fifth is going to be our conclusion paragraph. So we're going to conclude our essay. Within these paragraphs, 5-paragraph essay, right? I agree, Luciana. I agree with you. Check later and let us know. Sure, yeah. Let's do some research on that too. What our paragraphs should look like is our intro should be broken down into, just like we had before. We're going to have a hook. We're going to have general information. General info 1, general info 2, general info 3, and then our thesis. Okay? So what this is the hook grabs the attention. These are how I break paragraphs down for students as we're talking about the basic essay structure is 5 paragraphs, 5 sentences each. Okay? So the first sentence in our introduction paragraph is our hook. It grabs the attention of the reader. Our second sentence is what we're going to talk about in body paragraph number 1. So this general info is the topic of body paragraph number 1. The general info 2 is the same thing. It's the topic of body paragraph number 2. The third is the topic of body paragraph number 3. And then thesis is our strong opinion, which we of course support with facts. Okay? Our strong opinion supported by facts. So, body paragraph 1. The 3 body paragraphs will essentially look the same. We'll have an intro sentence or a topic sentence. And then we have support, 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 and we'll go into more detail about including citations and in-text citations later on. And then we have our conclusion sentence. Conclusion sentence. So our topic sentence gives us an idea of what the paragraph is about. We know that our first body paragraph is about the cause. So we're probably going to use that word in the first topic sentence. The causes of Canada's labor shortage are not as simple as, cannot simply be answered with one reason. Like there's not one simple reason to the cause of Canada's labor shortage. That would be a great sentence to start this body paragraph. So my example is, there is not one singular, simple, singular reason for Canada's labor shortage. Okay, there is not one simple, singular reason for Canada's labor shortage, or there is no single. I didn't really like that sentence. There's no single reason for Canada's labor shortage. So I'm probably going to go into the different reasons that I find. We found from some of our research that Canada's birth rate is declining. And then I would probably conclude that sentence with a statistic from that first article. We'll talk about those in-text citations later on. Boba asks, the hook of the topic sentence and the general information are supporting sentences. Is the hook? Yes, in the introduction paragraph, the hook is like the topic sentence. General information here is like the topic sentence of body paragraph 1, topic sentence of body paragraph 2, and the topic sentence of body paragraph 3. Hopefully that answers your question. Ezra says, Josh, we also can put in intro 1, hook 2, background, thesis. Yeah, that's another way to think about it. The introduction can be thought of as a hook, background information, basic information, and then a thesis. That is one way to describe it. It's the same thing as what I wrote here, though. We have the hook, background information is what you call it, general information is what I call it. It's the same thing, though. It's a very broad description of what we're going to talk about. So this here, this information here, matches up with all of the information in paragraph 2, which is our first body paragraph. So this generally states something like the cause, right? There are many causes to Canada's labor shortage. And then here I'll say there's no single reason for Canada's labor shortage. One factor is Canada's birth rate is declining. Another factor is, and then we'll use another bit of evidence from our research. So that is one way we can kind of think about this, that our introduction paragraph is just that. It introduces our 3 body paragraphs, and it also introduces our thesis that we're going to support with a lot of strong evidence later on. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you want to explain a different way, we're going to talk about it a few different ways next class. But here's what I'd like, because we got to go. Class is over. Premium subscribers, or if you want to try this on your own, I can't check your essays, but you can still try to write them. I would like you to, over the weekend, do some research, come up with some facts. We haven't really gone over in-text citations, so I'll tell you this. If you pull information from somewhere else, so here, this sentence, Canada's birth rate, like those in all industrialized nations, is on the decline. I want to use this in my essay. I basically said that in my essay here. So when I'm actually writing my essay, I know this is the outline document, but I'm going to put this in quotations for now, or I'm going to identify it by citing it. So if I use this sentence, this is not my sentence. These are not my words here. This sentence here, these are not my words. So I'm just going to give you a brief example. I'm not saying this is how you should do it, but of how we cite APA citations in text. We use the last name and the date, the year. So this is the author. And the year, I'm just going to use 2016 because I don't have access to the original article. But it would look like this. Last name in the sentence, before the period, before the punctuation, the last name and the year. I'm just going to use 2016 as an example. So what this shows, if I'm writing this in my essay, APA style, this shows that this sentence that has this parenthetical citation, the last name of the author, and the date, this shows that this is not my sentence. These are not my words, but I'm using it to prove my point, okay? So remember, we're going to choose a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 6 citations. So you'll have between 4 and 6 citations like this in your essay. And just for review, I can show you where the in-text citation page is. It's in Unit 4, APA Guidelines. And here are the APA Guidelines. So this is how we create these. So that's 4-2A for all of our premium subscribers. If you can't find it, just email me and I will let you know. All right. Lots and lots and lots of comments. Thank you guys so much for all those. Class is over, Luciana. I'm so sorry, but we'll be back again next week on Tuesday. Same time, same place. Okay. Yes, you did do this with Neil when I was feeling sick. Oh, Chari, 1 hour. I know it feels like it's never enough, right? I miss you guys when I'm not teaching this class. I do. Luciana, you've attended 3 great classes today. Nicole, Sean, and me. That's so nice. I'm so happy to hear that. All right. Ezra, thank you for being here. Luciana, as always, thank you for being here. Rosa, Nora, Boba, Hannah, Val, Aaron, Sumaya, I'm so glad you guys were here. We had a lot of new students too. Nitesh, thank you for being here. You guys are wonderful. Truly, can't thank you guys enough for being part of this awesome class. You are what makes the class awesome. I'm very lucky and fortunate to be your teacher. It makes me so happy to be able to help you guys with your English. So, do your research. Premium subscribers, make your outlines and start to write your essay. Send me whatever you have. Let's say Monday, I'll take a look at it, and then we'll meet on Tuesday. We'll talk about it and go over any questions we have as we try to compose our academic essay. We'll also go over some essay types. Zaid, you're welcome, no problem. Have a wonderful day. And maybe Nora, let's talk about it. We got to get you in as a premium subscriber, by the way. You're in all the classes anyway. Let's try to set that up. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I can't believe that nickname. That's just, Mark's way too nice. That's very, very kind of him. Anyway, Nitesh, yes, I look forward to your sample paper. Thank you. I'll get that corrected for you. Bye, Val. Bye, Hannah. We'll miss you guys. See you next Tuesday, okay? Same time, same place. and we'll study some more English. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.